once again, adventurers, the Let's Play Robotics Notes Elite. In the last episode, Kaito and Akiho decided to try and see Misaki before she went to the official Expo demonstration at the Tokyo Expo. And at first it seemed to be a touching reunion between the two Sonomiya sisters, but Kaito noticed that there was something very peculiar about Misaki's behavior. For one, Misaki was completely ignoring everything that Kaito was saying regarding the passing of Mizuka Airi, which in and of itself is unusual, as Mizuka was and remains Misaki's closest friend, besides that of course Michi. But usually it's been the other way around. She's always been avoiding Akiho, but she's never once refused Kaito. Except in this instance. And before things could go any further, Sawada appeared unexpectedly and pointed a gun not at Kaito, not at Akiho, but at Misaki of all people, his own subordinate. Of course, understandably, Kaito and Akiho tried to defend Misaki from Sawada's hostility. Also, it seemed, because this is where things have sort of been thrown for a loop. Because Sawada did mention the Kimijima reports. And judging by his tone and actions, it seems like he's actually intent on stopping the activities of the Committee of 300, either for his own agenda or to try and help the activities of the late Ko Kimijima. Although at this point in time, I'm still not sure whether or not I should fully trust him or not. Regardless, Akiho went chase after Misaki, who surprisingly piloted, or unsurprisingly piloted, Sumeragi and then used it to pretty much slaughter all of the major robots being featured at the expo, including, tragically, Gunvarrel 2, that now lies in complete and absolute ruins in what is left of the Tokyo Expo. But not before Gunvarrel 2 actually managed to fall on top of the Sumeragi exoskeleton. And when Akiho tried to open the pilot area in order to reach Misaki, she was nowhere to be found. Either she managed to do a very quick blink of an eye escape before anyone could even notice, or she was never really here to begin with. Now, I'm not sure whether or not to call robot, android, artificial hologram. The artificial hologram part would definitely explain why Misaki is now suddenly immune to bullets, since I don't think that those weave bodysuits worn by HUG pilots for Exco are necessarily bulletproof, I should say. But all the state of affairs has definitely left Akiho in a world where nothing makes sense anymore, and her dreams have been completely and absolutely shattered. Without a soul in sight, the venue looks like a ravaged battlefield. The rampaging spider HUG stopped a few minutes ago, and with the sounds of destruction and chaos having faded from the expo center, a deep silence envelops the ruins. Very grim. The giant robots that once stood proud in the building have either toppled over or been destroyed. The colorful signs and booths from the exhibits are covered in dust and grime. Yeah, Sumeragi is less of a robot and more combat armor. Just pointing that out there. Large pieces of rubble and wreckage from the caved-in ceiling littered the showroom floor, which is now exposed to the elements because even the ceiling has been shattered. Collapsed in front of the wreckage of Model 2 and the crushed spider HUG is Akiho. She looks like she's in incredible pain, and indeed she is, Kaito, because right before this happened, Akiho was on the verge of suffering a fast-forward attack, which is why she isn't responding.
Aki-chan, 大丈夫? 怪我?
Her face is pale. She's clutching her chest and biting her lip.
まさか発作を起こした?
I think her condition speaks for itself, Kaito. Akiho nods slightly. A part of me wants to scold her for running too much, but now's not the time for that. That's not what caused that though, Kaito. Not this time at least. I want to take care of her right now, but we need to evacuate first. Who knows when more of the ceiling could collapse.
さあ、捕まって.
Yeah, we need to leave for now. And the threat has left, but it's not dispersed for good. I turn my back to Akiho and crouch down.
おぶってあげるから.
Akiho obediently but weakly clings to my back. It's the same deal as last time, it seems. I make sure I have a firm hold of her before standing up. Now then, where's the exit? She's starting to come out of it. Like a ghost or a phantom.
消えた?
I glance over the spider HUG. The cockpit hatch is open. Mizune is nowhere to be found. I'd love to go looking for her right about now, but I think that would be a wasted effort. Kaito. But I wipe the idea from my mind and begin walking through the rubble. And not just Gunvarrel 2, the other robots as well. I saw everything. The spider HUG rampaged its way through the venue, sparing nothing in its path. Akiho booted up Model 2 in an attempt to stop her, but she was easily taken out. Mizune destroyed the Robotics Club's robot, Akiho's robot. She showed no hesitation, nor a shred of mercy. I never would have thought Mizune would be capable of something like this. But a lot has changed in 7 years. Mizune I know loved robots more than anyone, more than me, more than even Akiho. But I don't have time to think about that right now. I'm finally able to exit the Expo Arena with Akiho on my back. What's left of it, at least. A very unfortunate inside. Outside, the large number of people who have evacuated have worried looks on their faces. It's a pretty huge crowd. I can hear the sirens of ambulances and fire engines in the distance. Fortunately, the building hasn't yet set on fire, but having fire engines here, just in case, is a good idea. Very good idea. Looks like there are quite a few people injured. I can see people all over the place that are bleeding. Some are sitting down, others are lying on the ground. But more importantly, something's off. What? Wait. Everyone is looking up at the sky, as if they were all struck with the same idea.
空
Don't tell me a solar storm's coming. Wait, that's not something you can see with the naked eye. I set Akiho down and look up toward the sky, following everyone else's gaze. What I find is something beyond my wildest imagination.
なんだあれ
What indeed? What in the name of anything could this possibly be? Looks like something out of Gunvarrel, doesn't it? In fact, we saw a structure very similar to this in the infamous leaked episode, the leaked concept episode of Gunvarrel, although I'm not quite sure if this is a complete resemblance, but it looks like some kind of ancient monolith, like something that you might find in, say, Egypt, perhaps, if indeed these markings on the upper part of it are hieroglyphics. There's no doubt in my mind that whatever this obelisk or monolith is, it is tied to Project A2. Yeah, this is the committee's doing alright. No two ways about it. It's a building I've never seen before. Actually, I hesitate to even call it that. It's some kind of enormous pillar, maybe a tower. And it's stretching very, very high into the atmosphere. Still not as tall as the Obsidian Tower on the Planet of the Sorcerers, but it's pretty tall. The thing suddenly just appeared over the ocean in Odaiba. It's got to be at least a few hundred meters in diameter. I've never seen something this gigantic before. Until now, that is. It stretches up far into the sky, so far that I can't even see the top. Hell, it might even reach in space. Isn't this like just like a space elevator? Yeah. I don't think Seto Kaiba made this one, guys. Yeah. The thought of it crashing down to the ground comes to mind, which is enough to send a shiver down my spine. I recognize the strange design at the base of the pillar.
ガンバレルの最終話で見たな
So it is precisely the same. The bits and pieces that got leaked on the internet. Among the scenes, I remember there being a similar gigantic pillar.
Grand Obelisk.
Grand Obelisk.
グランドオベリスクだよ。
Akiho is looking up in awe at the pillar piercing the heavens.
ガンバレルの最終はそのままだ。
Which means that the events of the infamous final episode might yet be coming to pass.
そんなの昨日までなかったよね。
Akiho weakly shakes her head from side to side. No, this wasn't here the day prior, Kaito.
あるわけないよ。だってアニメの中に出てくる軌道エレベーターなんだし。現代の技術力じゃとてもじゃないけど作れない。
じゃああれは一体どうやって。
How indeed. How was it built? Or are you saying it fell from the sky? Did aliens drop or something drop it down into Tokyo Bay? Not quite. There, Kaito. That's really going into conspiracy theory territory there. I checked the news 30 minutes ago, but there was nothing about any pillars. How could so many incomprehensible things have happened in the short time we saw Mizune? I'm gonna lose my mind.
なあアキちゃん、ガンバレルの最終話ってどんな話だっけ。
I'm sure it's hard for her to talk after getting an attack. Not to mention to talk about something that actually affected her greatly the last time she saw it. But I can't help but ask.
軌道エレベーターのグランドオベリスクが太陽を砲撃して。
She explains, and her face begins to go pale as she realizes the correlation between what she's saying and reality.
地球は太陽爆発による太陽フレアで焼き尽くされて敵もろとも壊滅を。
プロジェクトアテム。
Very same. The crowd begins to stir, even more panic now. The Grand Obelisk starts shining ominously. On the surface, countless hieroglyphics pulsate, disappearing and reappearing. The giant pillar almost feels like like a living being of some kind. An ice cold chill runs down my spine.
まさか
That second solar storm in 2020. I think we're about to witness it firsthand, Kaito.
本当に撃つつもりじゃ。
A strange sound begins to ring out around us. It's similar to the sound of the ground rumbling. A very deep sound. Yet the earth is completely still and it shows no sign of rumbling to life. It's not an earthquake. And is it the Grand Obelisk itself making the air shake? The pillar begins to shine even more strongly, this ominous, eerie glow. Right away I pull Akiho close to me and shield her behind me. The warnings in the Kimijima reports. The leaked final episode of Gunvarrel. Is it all coming true? Is this what Project A2 is? In front of the eyes of tens of thousands of witnesses. The pillar stretching up into space. Bursts with a flash so bright it can't be looked at directly. and the sky explodes into a rainbow of colors. Everything unknown except the date, the time, 2:54 p.m., and the person,
ここで
Misaki
予定を変更
Sonomiya.
して緊急ニュースをお伝えします。
Emergency broadcast. Largest solar storm in history hits Kanto region. Just like the Kimijima report said.
先ほど午後2時50分頃、関東地方に史上最大規模の太陽嵐が到達した模様です。
And where could the real Misaki Sonomiya be in all this?
現在、関東地方全域であらゆる電子機器が使用不可能な状態となっているとみられます。 太陽嵐には人体に深刻な影響をもたらす X 線も含まれている可能性があります。 外を歩いている方はなるべく安全な場所に避難してください。
Shelter, you say?
こちらの映像は今からおよそ10時間前に NASA の太陽観測衛星ソーラーダイナミクスオブザーバトリーより撮影された太陽の様子です。 巨大な太陽フレアが無数に発生しているのがわかります。 今回の太陽嵐は2015年9月や昨年11月に到達したものよりも大規模なものだと予想されます。
Indeed, predicted by the late Ko Kimijima.
日本だけではなく世界各地でも被害が出ているとみられます。 そちらについても情報が入り次第お伝えします。
In other words, everything is presently unfolding as per the committee's design.
今新たなニュースが入ってきました。 消防庁の情報によりますと、東京都港区お台場地区一帯が崩壊し水没の危機にあるとのことです。
Collapsed.
太陽嵐との因果関係については現在のところ不明です。 こちらはお台場に設置されたライブカメラの現在の映像です。 首都高速湾岸線が完全に水没している様子が見られます。 また奥に見える建物は東京万博が開催されている万博アリーナですが、屋根が崩壊しているのがわかります。 お台場では東京万博が開催されており、今日も多くの来場者で賑わっていました。 繰り返しお伝えします。 今日午後2時50分頃、関東地方に史上最大規模の太陽嵐が到達した模様です。
And meanwhile, as all this is going on, Misaki is observing without a word.
バイバン作戦開始時刻です。
最終判断は GO!
Again, with this crypticness. Yeah.
了解。ハッチ開きます。
Y 番より各員、これより作戦を開始する。
Looks like the answers are going to come to us. I never should have had a dream. Phase 11. Plasmasphere Transistor. Achievement unlocked. Tokyo International Hospital, Airi Yukifune.
東京、ニューヨーク、ロンドン、トロント、上海といった主要都市はいずれも大規模な停電が発生している模様です。
Blackouts all over.
また市民による暴動が起きている地域はロサンゼルス、リオデジャネイロ、カイロ、ヨハネスブルグ、アムステルダム、ベルファストなどで。
未確認情報ですが、ニューヨーク、東京、北京、ロンドン、パリ、ベルリンなど多くの都市でサービスロボットの暴走事故が多発しているとの情報が。
いわゆる君島レポートと呼ばれる告発文書によれば、今のこの状況では世界のどこでテロが起きても不思議ではないんですよ。各国の警察や軍は 警戒を強める必要があります。
これだけ世界で同時多発的に混乱が起きるなんて、あの15年クラッシュでもなかったことですよね。最悪の場合、21世紀の世界大恐慌が発生する可能性もあり得るでしょう。
そもそもこれまで何度も太陽嵐は来ていたというのに、その教訓を全く活かせてないじゃないか。この国のお役人は一体何をやっていたんだ。
今回の太陽嵐到達による死者、行方不明者は現在のところ不明です。
NASA は太陽の異常活動において日本時間25日未明から本日にかけて計4度の声明を発表しています。太陽では現在 X クラスの猛烈な大規模フレアが最低でも439回以上発生しており、秒速 2000km 近い高速で強大な太陽嵐が順次地球に到達しているとのことです。昨日未明に観測された時点でアメリカ政府は速やかに各国政府へと情報は伝えたということですが、日本ではなぜその情報が事前に国民に周知されなかったのかについて、山西官房長官は誠に遺憾であり原因を究明すると述べました。次に、
はい、新宿駅からお伝えします。現在公共交通機関は全線が運休しており、駅の前は電車に乗れない人たちで溢れ返っています。駅員の方の話によりますと、ほとんどの電子機器は正常に作動しているのですが、一部で異常が発生したため、念のために全ての電子システムを点検中とのことです。復旧のめどは今のところ立っておりません。あと2時間ほどもしますと、仕事を終えて自宅に向かう会社員の方々が駅に殺到するとみられ、さらなる混乱が予想されます。
こちら汐留のライブカメラの映像をご覧ください。お台場方面から黒煙が上がっているのがお分かりいただけますでしょうか。お台場には富士山テレビの社屋があるのですが、現在一切連絡がつかない状態です。またネット上の一部情報では、東京万博お台場会場で大きな爆発が起きたとの情報も流れており、テロが起きている可能性もあることから、お台場へ通じるレインボーブリッジは安全確保のため封鎖されています。首都高速湾岸線は全線通行止め、ゆりかもめ、臨海線、アクアライナーも全線運休となっています。ただいま情報が入ってきました。アメリカ政府は先ほど、クレイン副大統領が交通事故に巻き込まれ重傷を負ったと発表しました。詳しい安否については不明です。テロの可能性もあり調査中とのことです。
こちら東京世田谷区の多摩川河川敷です。見てください。空からたくさんの鳥たちが垂直に墜落してきます。川に落ちてものすごい危ない。これ離れないとまずいって。
松戸さん、聞こえますか？松戸さん。
Yeah. At this point, the predictions written in the Kimijima reports are no longer predictions. They are now just another part of reality. I swallowed my breath as I watched the chaos unfold around the world on TV. It's then that there's a knock at my door. It's not mealtime, nor is it for them to check my temperature. Whoever it is, they're not a nurse. Of course, it stands to reason that Ko never actually divulged the subject of the Kimijima reports with Airi before even, obviously not during her cold sleep. Then who is it? I woke up here a little under a month ago. During all that time, aside from the doctor in charge of me and the nurses, only Kaito Yashio-san came to visit.
どうぞ。
I replied timidly. Maybe my missing mother heard about me and is here to visit, especially after seeing all the chaos. But even you of all people should know how unlikely that is, Airi. I stare straight at the door, waiting for it to open. But no one's responding. No matter how long I wait, the door doesn't open. That's strange. I know I felt the presence of someone on the other side of the door when I heard that knock. Suddenly a little scared, I hide under the covers. I put the blanket over me and close my eyes. Unfortunately, there's only one way in and one way out of this room. If someone comes in, I'll just pretend to be asleep. I don't want to see anyone. I'll be here alone, forever. I shouldn't expect anything. That is a sinister laugh. A terrible chill runs down my spine. My eyes are closed, but I can tell. Right next to my bed, there's someone standing there. They're not saying anything, but I can just barely hear them breathing. But when did they come inside? The door didn't open. I didn't hear the sound of the door opening. It's only been a few seconds since I lay down in bed and closed my eyes. During that time, this person managed to open the sliding door into the room and walk to the side of my bed, all without making a single noise. It must be a ninja, or some sort of sleight of hand skullduggery here is at work. We'll go with the latter. I want to open my eyes, but I also don't want to. I'm terrified. My body starts to quiver in fear. I clutch the sheets tightly. Again with the creepy laughter. Who? Who is it? Why won't they talk? Why are they just standing there? I can't keep my eyes closed any longer. I have to see who's standing there. I have to. If not, my heart will keep beating faster and faster until it ruptures. I know what I have to do. I slowly and cautiously open my eyes. Well, here goes nothing, Airi. Who could be waiting? A mystery that will presently have to remain unsolved for the time being. So when we return, adventurers, the aftermath of what has just unfolded. As always, until next we meet.